cannot tell you guys how excited I am to have my hands on a real diff. This is the Larue Performance Dana 30 diff. This thing is a beast. They killed it with this. On this front, already right off the bat, we go to a U-joint style. Way better design, deletes the coupler. We know the coupler. If you have a YXZ, this is a problem. So then we move in, this front pinion bearing. This is a problem. On like the 16 to 18 diffs, the cast aluminum housing ends up cracking, screws up your whole trip. This thing, massive bearing. Does not mess around. Okay, then we move on to the next problem with the YXZs. The little tabs that hold the diff in, they're just very small, like 1/8 inch tabs. They end up breaking from torque twisting or shifting the diff. So that's when Larue came in, built this little bracket, and holding the tubes on the frame, the strongest part of the rear of the frame, holds onto those to where when this diff wants to torque twist, it holds it in place. Doesn't break the tabs. So that was a big plus. The fact that it's just billet aluminum. You start making big power. If the gear set in here can handle it, you're gonna split the diff in half. You'll crack it. This will not crack. So now into the gear sets. The Yamaha YXZ gear sets are known to break. I've broken my own gear set. We've seen it all happen. That is a big problem with this diff. They came in, put Dana 30 gear set in this, and it is strong. It's been proven. I've seen it with my own eyes. I've seen cars with huge tires launching on 30 pounds of boost, eating it like it's nothing. The other cool part is this sight glass on the side, so you can always see your oil. That's my biggest thing, is I like to be able to see what's going on in my diff. I like to see what the oil is looking like. I usually change my oil every trip. When I get back home, I'll just go through the fluids. It's cheap insurance. Just make sure that all the fluids look good. It'll tell you what's going on with your machine. I really like this. This was a big selling point for me. And the fact that this is made in the USA. You know that we gotta support the USA. Really don't think I'm gonna have any worries with this diff. I'll just make sure that our oil is at those levels and we should be dialed. So the other cool parts about this diff is like the little sayings Larue did on the side of this. They did for all the boost, because this is for all the boost. I have seen some high horsepower cars beat on this diff. This whole thing is just a headache. I hate more than anything going out on a big weekend or a trip or anything and having problems. This is your problem. Say we get rid of this lifetime table that's about to fall over because of the weight of these diffs and throw this in the Z. She looks good sitting in there. That's for sure. I haven't been like videoing everything with the install just because literally on a time crunch trying to get this thing in. I just wanted to get the diff in, get the car ready to make it to the next event. We'll give you guys a more like in-depth review on this. I'm gonna test this diff for sure. I'm gonna put the big boy paddles on and see what kind of abuse it can take, because as you know, if you've been watching the videos, my luck with diffs just suck right now. Out of all the diffs, my OEM diff, the Packard diff, for some reason they get so hot just coming up to this little spot that I come up to test. This one's pretty cold. Very happy with that, because I've always been worried that it's just sitting there baking that fluid. Like we're talking, you can't even touch the diff after making it up here. This thing ice cold. Man, that sunset's like dialed right now.